This is a new Singer walking foot on my old Singer model 1588. And this is 3 layers of sweater fabric. I only have 3 squares that are extra from my sweater quilt. And I just want to see if this is going to be a little bit better for going over bulky seam allowances, because it has toes that turn up further. So let's try this out. And as you can see, it's not moving very far. And this is what I was afraid of with the walking foot. You can't really get behind the foot to pull the fabric. And this is 3 layers of a bulky knit sweater. So if I don't pull it, it doesn't move. And the straight stitch foot, even though it has flat toes, does a little bit better. So this one's not so great for this, even though the toes are up on the end. And the reason I bought this walking foot was to prevent what just happened. As you can see, that top square got pushed, and that's what I was trying to prevent on when I was doing machine quilting. So let me try another foot and see how that goes. I've just now been looking at a few antique or vintage feet for these machines, as well as some new snap-on type feet for the newer machines. And one foot that caught my eye a couple of times was a zipper foot, simply because it goes up. This is an adjustable zipper foot, a vintage one. This one is hinged. So I'm wondering if that will just ride over the thick layers. And it's adjustable in that you can have it to the left or the right of the needle. And I wouldn't need to really move it once I decide where I want it. And I could almost use the foot itself as kind of a seam guide. If I keep the needle to the left of the foot, and then the foot is about 1/4 of an inch wide, I could almost use it as a seam guide. So let's see if this does any better. Still doesn't move through very easily without me pulling. It doesn't seem to push the fabric quite as much. Let me try going in the other direction and see if it pushes the fabric. That time it went through without me pulling it. This might be a foot I can use for heavy layers. And look at that, it did not push the fabric. So even though it's made for installing zippers, and I did hear a little click, so I want to make sure that it didn't move and that the needle would be hitting it at all. I could even, the needle doesn't seem to be lining up exactly on it, even though it's on there correctly. So you would have to be careful as to how it's on there and that it doesn't become loose as you're using it for bulky fabrics. But let me try it again. A little bit more pushing of the fabric that time, but overall not too bad at all. Very little pushing right there, and if I were guiding it or pulling it, I could control that much less than that end with the walking foot, and that surprises me. So I think because it's hinged, this is 3 layers. I have to go over 4 layers when I actually sew the seam allowances on my sweater quilt. But I think what I'm going to try is the zipper foot because it can angle up just like that.